Hey folks, greetings from the Offensive Security Group here at Secure IT 360, coming at you with a new episode of the Cyber Threat Perspective. Today we have a special holiday Christmas episode for you all, and with me today to talk about the topic that we're going to talk about is Darrius. And hey Darrius, how's it going?
Yeah, doing great. Glad to be back.
Yeah, excited. This is a topic that you had brought up, and one that I think is probably pretty pertinent to all of us going through the holiday and Christmas season. And that topic is kind of staying sharp, honing your skills over the holiday season. A lot of us take breaks. We have vacations and holidays and all things like that. And we thought we would get together and talk about some ways to kind of get away from like the day-to-day pen testing and do something a little bit more fun while still like honing your skills and staying sharp. So maybe Darrius, introduce this topic to us and why you thought of it, and kind of your high level thoughts on this.
Yeah, so whether you're a beginner or an expert, you always need to hone your skills and improve. And one of the best ways to do that are CTFs, right? I think we've talked about that before in the past. And, it's the season for CTFs essentially. So, you have several major vendors every year. They come out with Christmas themed CTFs, and they're a great way to really enhance your skills and learn a lot. And that's really ultimately kind of where this idea kind of took root and came from.
Yeah, I love it. I am a big proponent of CTFs. We all are, right? In the on the team here, they provide such value. We enjoy doing them as a team. We did a CTF. What was it, last year? Out in Alabama, we did like a team CTF where we all teamed up and worked on the same
Oh yeah,
CTF.
back the Hack Street Boys. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hack Street Boys. Yeah, and that was fun. And when you do it live and in person, you have it's a different feeling, right? It's a different vibe going on than online. But it's still fun, right? The one that I like to talk about, the one I've done in the past, is the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge. KringleCon is as part of that as well. I know Darrius, you're a big proponent of Try Hack Me's Advent of Cyber is still what they call it, right?
Yeah, yeah, avid of cyber, and so I really think I think it's a really good beginner level. If you have zero red teaming experience whatsoever, I think it's the perfect CTF to do.
Yep.
And I think just overall, the platform in general, Try Hack Me, is very beginner friendly. Um, and then eventually, as you develop those skills, eventually you tend to move on to other vendors like Hack the Box or Pen Tester Labs or Sands and things of that nature. And
Yep.
kind of going back to what you were talking about, CTFs, I think one of the biggest benefits, or one of the things I enjoy, is it gives us the opportunity to kind of develop skills in areas that aren't necessarily um, our expertise. So, all throughout the
Yep.
year, I'm working primarily on web apps. And so when I do a CTF, it gives me a chance to kind of touch other things.
Yep.
One that I'm working on currently is, we're doing a lot of reverse engineering. And so I'm learning a little bit of Ghidra and, debugging and things of that
Yep.
nature. So that's been really fun. And also just, another reason why CTFs are just so great.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I remember, I think it was last year, I was doing the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge, and they had a challenge that was all about regular expressions. So like it was a present sorter game or something like that, and you had to solve these various regular expressions, and they varied in difficulty. Right? They started out easy, and then it was like 12 different steps or 12 different puzzles that you had to solve. But it was really cool because regular expressions are something that we use all the time in security,
Right?
whether you're just parsing a log file or sorting data that you've accumulated from testing. We use regular expressions all the time, and you don't really realize it until you get into a challenge. Like, wow, maybe I don't really understand regex all that well, right? So that's the beauty of it. And to illustrate your point, that was an example of that that I witnessed last year. Is like, yeah, I do a lot of internals, and so I don't get a lot of the same web experiences in web apps that you run into. So it's good for me to kind of expand and stuff like that. So I definitely love being able to work on things that are not your skill set, like you had mentioned. In the gamification part of it is really engaging too. Sans does a really good job of this with a holiday hack. They have a theme and a story. It's a game, right? It's literally like a video game with, you know, puzzles built into it, CTFs built into it. So it's really fun, and it's a really uh, low barrier of entry thing to get into, especially from anywhere from just starting out new to experience. So maybe what are your thoughts on what you get out of it at different levels? Like when you're a beginner, what are you kind of looking to get out of it? Maybe a little bit
Okay.
junior, you know, what do you hope to get out of a CTF? And then if you're experienced senior, like really done a lot of the stuff, what do you hope to get out of it for people to, you know, what do they look forward to?
Okay. So I think when you're just now start, I think it comes in phases. First of all, and so I think when you're just starting out, I think it's just more so getting exposed, right? So you know you have all these different challenges across different categories, and you're gaining all that exposure. And as you do that, you know you're going to pick up a few things, and naturally, I feel like you're going to gravitate towards a particular category, right? Whether that's network, web, reverse
Right.
engineering, you know, etc. Um, and so I think it's a really good pivoting point to be able to say, to be able to do a CTF, try a whole bunch of different things, and then kind of hone in on, you know, what you naturally, you know, enjoy. I think that's kind of where it starts and you pick stuff up. And then I think also in terms of if you're a beginner or a junior, it's good to have that exposure because as you go to gain certifications,
Yep.
you know, you're going to have a wide breadth of, you're going to need a wide breadth of knowledge in order to pass. So
Yep.
CTS definitely can assist with that. Um, and then as you start to get to where you're more at the more intermediate expert level, um, one, I think it's really good just because you kind of get to feel, you get to kind of showcase your knowledge, right? So,
Yep.
I'm a, you know, I love getting into a CTF and seeing a web challenge and being able to just kind of blaze through it, right? Because it's kind of validation to be able to say, like, I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
then,
exactly.
but you know, like occasionally, you know, as you get up there, because there are difficulty levels, right? It's cool to be able to, you know, um, attack something that you may not see in the wild necessarily all the time. So, you know, as you get to your harder challenges, you know, maybe they'll toss in, um, you know, GraphQL or something that, you know, I don't normally see a lot on the pen
Yep.
test that we do. And so that's a great way to improve an area in that particular area. And then, like we
Yep.
already said, you know, it's really awesome to be able to, you know, dip your toes into other areas as well. So I think that's really the benefit that you get once you're more at the intermediate expert level.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And you know, one of the things I love about the CTFs this time of the year as well is the community. You know, you get to meet a lot of different people. There's a ton of people doing Try Hack Me's Advent of Cyber, doing Sans Holiday Hack Challenge, doing all the other CTFs and events that are going on right now. And there's like a little community or a large community of people that are kind of all doing these things together and bouncing ideas off each other. So a good way, it can be a good way also to not only sharpen your skills, you know, your technical skills, but sharpen your interpersonal skills, like your relationship skills, those soft skills, right? Of like talking with people, working as a team. So like there's multiple facets to sharpening your skills right around this time of the year, especially because those things are an opportunity to try to learn and kind of like fight your way through it and troubleshoot and stuff like that. But it also gives you an opportunity to learn how to ask for help, right? A lot of
Yeah.
times you run into something and you just hit a wall, right? You can try and try and try, and you eventually get to a point where you have no more ideas, right? You're just out of ideas. You're not really sure what direction to go. Uh, I think it's a good skill to know how to ask for help and to know how to like exhaust your options before you go ask for help, right? If you're asking for something that you can just Google, that's not a good question to ask, right? But if you've exhausted all your options, then you probably have a good idea of what question to ask. And that's something I think about all the time on internals is if I'm getting stuck on something, um, I think about the question that I would ask somebody who knew the answer, right? If they knew the answer, uh, what would the question be that I would ask? And if it's something that I could Google or research, or if I haven't researched it all, I'll go research it, right, and try and figure it out. And then when I've exhausted my ideas of research, I will think about, what question I would ask somebody, and pose that question to a Discord community or to people on the team like you, to try and figure that out. This week was a perfect example of that, right? It's just hitting a wall, hitting a wall, hitting a wall, doing research, hitting a wall, asking questions, be like, hey, do you know why this is? But that, I think, is a really important skill that you can develop with in this environment, because the games are really easy. They're very friendly. The community is very friendly, and it allows you to learn how to ask questions and ask for help without it being like on a client engagement, you're time limited, like you have a deadline, you have to get the work done and provide value for the client. It's really high stress. So that's another, kind of benefit, I think, of this time of the year and these CTFs, to help you kind of sharpen your skills. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, no, yeah, no, I completely agree. Being able to ask questions, effective questions, I'll say,
Yep.
is super critical, because especially in this particular line of work, it can be tough, right? Because there's this expectation that you're supposed to know,
Right.
everything, right? And so, yeah, it's great being able to ask those questions. Is how you go from being a good pen tester to a great pen tester, because it's impossible to know everything.
Yep.
I would also add, just going at um, in terms of the CTS, an additional benefit is, even if you can't figure out the answer,
Yep.
eventually there's going to be a walkthrough, and so
Yep.
that's another way to kind of learn and sharpen your toolkit as well.
Yep. Yeah, I
Uh,
know Sans Holiday Hack, they post the previous like challenges, like the previous holiday hacks, they'll post those and you can go through those. They have the write-ups, which is really good. Uh, People do videos all the time. So yeah, there's a ton of learning opportunities throughout this time of the year for those challenges.
What's always super kind of interesting to me and kind of funny, is doing a CTF, and particularly like web CTFs. I'm thinking of one in particular where
Yep.
it's like I got the flag and I did it a certain way, and they provide the walkthrough, and it's like, oh, I didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you see all these different ways that you could have done this thing. You're like, I did it this way, and like 99% of the people did it these 4 different ways,
Right?
these
Yeah.
5 different ways. Like, oh, okay. But that, to your point, like that adds another arrow to your quiver, right? It's like, okay, now I not only know how to do it my way, the way I did it, but I know these other 3, 4 ways that I can accomplish it, so that when you do experience it in the wild, you're like, okay, I know to check this, and then these 3 other things that I also saw. So really good, really adds a lot of benefit, really adds another like arrow to your quiver kind of thing of like knowing how to go through and solve a problem, you know, that you solved yourself, but in different ways that other people solved it. So it's really good.
So I do think we're forgetting one of the most important parts of these Christmas CTFs. Um, and one additional benefit is, a lot of times they have prizes. So I think I'm pretty sure, try Hack Me this year. They have a lot of great prizes.
Yep.
I know there's a few offensive security Learn One subscriptions that they're going to be giving away. So if you're
Nice.
preparing for the OSCP or one of their certs, it's a perfect way.
Yep.
And yeah, you win that. That's awesome.
Yep.
And then I know additionally they're giving away a couple of Raspberry Pis, which are super hard to come by right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, another benefit to completing these CTFs.
Nice. Yeah, you can really tell that Darius and I really care about all those prizes, because we almost forgot to mention all the cool prizes. Literally, we're just nerds. We enjoy and gluttons for punishment, because we enjoy doing these CTFs and challenges and stuff like that without any thinking of the prizes. But yeah, definitely. If you're new to security or wanting to get certifications and stuff, those prizes will definitely be coming in handy.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you want to mention or talk about in terms of, sharpening your skills over the holidays, these CTFs, anything we missed?
So the only thing I will say, and this is something that I wish I could have told myself a couple of years ago, is the secret is just consistency. And so
Yep.
these CTF events are an opportunity to remain consistent. You make
Yep.
progress a step at a time, and so you just have to go after it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and if you got downtime over the holidays, if you go a week, 2 weeks without doing like a pen test job, or doing your job, your craft, you kind of lose a little bit of that edge. I want to say, you kind of get out of a rhythm
Mhm.
of your job, and it takes a little bit to get back into it. So this is an opportunity to kind of, like you said, stay fresh, stay consistent. But also, I'll say, like, don't feel bad about not doing anything, right? I think there's a common thread amongst a community of like always, the try hard mentality or try harder mentality, like always progressing, always working on your craft, always like hustling and doing this thing and learning. At some point, you do need to take a step back and relax and not do anything security related and not work on stuff. So I will say, just grain of salt, caveat. Don't feel bad if you don't do anything over the holidays. If you don't do a CTF or anything like that, don't feel bad. But the opportunity is there if you want it.
So what I'm hearing is don't lock myself in a room away from my family over the holidays doing CTFs.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, I guess it depends on your relationship with your family, right? Maybe you'd rather be doing CTFs than doing family things. But for me, if I did that, I would get, I'd get tossed out. I'd be on the curb. So,
No, I agree completely. There's definitely it's a balancing act. So
yep,
it's just about finding that balance that works for you.
yep, definitely. Well, that's it from us. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you listening in or watching in, depending on where you're listening or watching this. If you got value from this episode, or if you enjoy watching this kind of stuff, subscribe, like, share with your colleagues, all that good stuff. You can check us out on offsec.blog, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have a good one, everyone.